What's going on, guys? Welcome to some MX Simulator. I wanted to talk a little bit about the game and why you should play it, and also just kind of the reasons why a lot of people don't play it, including myself for quite a while, and just what goes into all that, and just what I think about the game versus a lot of other games like MX vs ATV Reflex, even some of the older ones, but Alive, I mean the whole lot, Encore, MXGP3, kind of your standard moto games on the PC or console. Sim, obviously it's only on PC, but man, it has a lot to offer. That being said, getting into the game is a bit of a commitment. If you're going to play Sim and play it to be decent at the game, which we all probably want to be decent at it, right? It's going to take some time. And that's the biggest deterrent to a lot of people. You play it at the beginning, and I remember when I first played, I couldn't get farther than probably, I don't know, 50 feet without crashing because of the leaning, because of just the way it was set up. It was just, oh, those braking bumps are gnarly. It's just a really difficult game to hop into and enjoy right away. It's almost like some of those more difficult games. Like, say if you played Counter-Strike for the first time ever and you hopped in a competitive match and you're playing at a higher up rank, like a Gold Nova rank right away. You're gonna struggle. You know, you're gonna not enjoy it. You're gonna have a hard time with some of those games. But if you end up taking the time and you get good at Counter-Strike, you're gonna end up loving it. You're gonna be like, oh, I get it. This is sweet. I'm good at the game. I get what makes it so good and so competitive. And it's the same exact way with MX Simulator. The game is just tough at first, man. There's so much going on, and if you play it right, it's just a challenge, man. You're sitting, you're standing, you're shifting the whole way. Just the weight transfer, the turning. I mean, setting it up on your controller and finding a setup that works good for you. Just the braking bumps, how gnarly the tracks are. They're so crazy compared to, you know, any other game. I mean, look at some of the braking bumps I've dealt with already on this lap. I mean, the tracks are absolutely nuts, but that's what makes it so awesome, man. I mean, what a cool track. This is kind of an ugly track. It's Hangtown 2017. It's an ugly track, but it's sweet. I mean, look at these braking bumps here. What other game has something like that? And really the best way to get through them is using like techniques or whatever that you would in real life to get over braking bumps like that, like getting on a little bit of RPM, not letting that front end drop, keeping the front end light. Like, everything just correlates over from what you would think physics would do in real life if you ride or don't ride. You can kind of make that guess, and doing that in this game just works. A lot of the arcade games, it's like you find out ways to get over them, and it's not necessarily realistic, but it works, you know. And this game is just the epitome of realistic, obviously. So it's really tough at first because there's a lot going on. But once you start to figure out how to use all the inputs the game gives you, and you start getting a little bit smoother, and you just figure it out, you know. There's always that moment where you figure a game out and go, oh, this is sick. You gotta wait a little while for that moment in this game, but when it comes, holy crap, man, it is so cool. Like, I'm not running that fast to laps right now, but I am having a ton of fun, because once you get in a flow, you can really just enjoy this game and just build, you know. And the cool thing about this game, like, at first you're just gonna play it and just have fun with a lot of the different custom tracks, customization, and just have fun with your buddies, maybe hop in a server or two. And then the next step, you're going to want to do some racing. Now, I just did my first season, I guess, of more like serious racing. I raced most of the outdoor rounds for amateur RF, just the national series, the outdoor series. And it taught me a lot about the game. It taught me a ton. I was always against racing because it was so serious and it was silly and it's difficult. It can be frustrating at times, but again, just like the game itself, racing is its own beast. And if you can spend the time to get a little bit better at it and kind of appreciate it and have those good weekends, it all just starts to make sense. It all clicks, and it's like, it's just totally worth it. It's so sweet racing in this game. Everyone's taking it serious. Nobody's screwing around, trolling you or anything. It's all just serious, and everybody trying to have a good weekend, you know? So it's like the passing, everyone's trying to be respectful of the lappers or being lapped, you know? Just the whole scenario is just so cool. You know, there's some takeouts and some silliness and some frustrating moments, no doubt, but again, the positives just outweigh it. It just makes it so much fun to come out here with like 40 guys on the gate, and just battle and just try to do the best you can. Be consistent, even if you're not putting in heater laps. Like right now, I'm not putting in heaters, but I'm trying to stay consistent, and that's where the game is so fun. Once you can get to the point where you can be a little bit consistent, you're gonna have an absolute blast. And I know anybody that's really into reflex, because you have so much movability, that's the wrong word, but you know, the controls aren't very stiff. You can throw your own style on it. Well, reflex, there's no comparison to this game. You can throw so much style in this game if you want to, you know. For me, I'm not as stylish. I'm more about trying to be smooth, especially on the 450. But there's always moments where you like have to throw a giant scrub over something and you just enjoy it. It's just sick. You get such a cool feeling from the game like nothing else. Well, not like reflex or anything. So anyway, I know it's a bit long-winded, but I'm just chilling, talking about why I like the game. Especially since I'm on some halfway decent laps until then. But I get it, man. I get not wanting to get into this game because of that initial deterrent and the time that you have to put into it, and how it's not that fun at the beginning because you're not making that much progress. It's challenging. You're going down a lot. It takes forever to get up. I remember always being like, dude, it takes so long to get up when you have an actual legs off crash, which I don't think I've had yet, but it's a thing, man. But you slowly grow to love it, and you know, those long crashes, you know, that's all more reason to just make sure you don't go down. So when you get to that moment where you're not going down as much, oh dude, it's just so sweet when you can put in consistent laps. So anyway, just play the game is what I'm saying. I just recommend it. Everybody that's playing reflex, and I know 99% of people or whatever, the majority of people play this game already and are into it, especially now. But man, I went through a time where I was like, I am not putting the time into it to play this game, because I'd play it a little bit here and there and I just wouldn't enjoy it, so I just stopped. I was just like, fuck that, I'm not playing the game. Well, I finally got to where I wanted to put the time in, and I got past that little section where the game kind of sucks and you start to like it because you're good enough to get around the track without crashing. I remember it was a big deal just to go around one lap without a crash. And that's so cool. What other game do you have where it's like, you know, you really have to have that much skill to be able to get just around the track and not crash? Like, what other game? Come on. I can't think of anything. So it's awesome. That's where I play games like Assetto Corsa and a little bit of Project Cars, but more Assetto Corsa and you know, your dirt rallies and things like that are more sim type car games. And it's the same exact way. It's like, it's frustrating at first, but when you figure it out, it's just brilliant. You know, it's just so sick. So anyway, I just highly recommend this game for anybody that hasn't gotten into it yet. Put the time into it, and if you're gonna play the game, use a freaking controller. I recommend an Xbox 360 wired controller. You can get a little bit more fancy than that, or you can go PlayStation, but the Xbox controller lends itself very well to this game with the triggers and with whatever else. Like, it's just a good setup. So I highly recommend it. Yeah, video games are pretty cool. I realize that's pretty much all I'm saying in this. Is like, dude, this game's cool. It's hard, but it's really cool. That's the short version of this whole video. Game's tough, but it's pretty cool. But anyway, I just know I would have liked to hear this a while ago when I was just playing reflex. You know what I mean? I know we all think we know it all, and that's part of it. I mean, listen to me. I'm here telling you guys what I think you should do. But at the same time, it's like sometimes you got to hear from somebody that maybe has done the same thing and been like, fuck that game. Yeah, that was me. That was me for a while, until I finally grew to take the time and just enjoy it. I mean, it can just be such a sweet game, you know? So anyway, let's see if we can finish this lap strong. Maybe charge a little harder, see what we can do. This last section can be pretty fun if you get it right. Maybe it can be a good example of what not to do as well. As you can see. Big old wheelie. Alright. Anyway, guys, that is MX Simulator. Play the damn game. Play Reflex. Play MXGP3. Play them all. And get into a little bit of racing on this one. Take it a little serious. Be a little nerdy. And have a good time with the game. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for checking out the channel. Comment what you think. Is this game worth playing? Is it a total joke? And I will catch you guys in the next video. Peace.